And of course, we had my daughter in a good school, a private school, and this is like a predominantly white school where there might have been 6 other black kids. I'm beginning to get a little troubled feeling inside, because I know how bullying can be in school. I know how bullying can be if you're one of the few black kids in that school. And even back then, my daughter was a little chubby, you know. So that she's just got, you know, everything going against her coming to a new school, okay? Especially girls, because you know how girls can be, right? So I decided, you know, I practiced the martial art most of my life, from the time I was like 14 years old on up until I was maybe 30 or so. And so I know the martial art. And what I know about the martial art is I don't care what child it is. If you have a child that's being bullied, or if you have a child that's getting any kind of negativity, any kind of flack from his peers, enroll them in a karate class. Because, first of all, they're going to have a whole new set of their own friends, which will be the people in the karate club. So now they will be a child with friends. And as well, they'll be learning something. They'll be learning some punches. They'll be learning some kicks. They'll be learning some techniques. They'll be gaining a confidence about themselves, okay? So there is no excuse for anybody that has a child that's being bullied and, oh, well, my child is just being bullied. Find a karate club and enroll them, and that bullying will stop, okay? And so my plan was, you know, get her in karate before kindergarten, and because I won't be there to protect her, my little baby girl, you know? And so I'm trying to say, okay, you need to practice karate, but I'm getting all this flack from my wife. I'm getting flack from my mother. I'm getting flack from my sister, all the females. You just want her to do that because you did it. No, I don't. I want her to do it because I can't protect her when I'm not with her. I need her to be able to protect herself. And so it was like, man, it wasn't going anywhere. Because then she's listening. She's so young. She's listening to her mom. She's listening to her grandmom. She's listening to her aunt. No, Daddy, I don't want to practice karate. I'm losing, right? How many of y'all fellas know what I'm talking about, right? So I had a plan. Now the year she was getting ready to go into kindergarten was the same year the Karate Kid, the remake with Jaden Smith, came out. You know, from, you know, the Miyagi thing. But the new Karate Kid with Will Smith's son, that came out the same year my daughter was going into kindergarten. So I had an idea. I was, you know, because my family, we like to go to the movies. We always have. So they were like, hey, why don't we go to the movies? You know, they were like, man, it wasn't Mommy's idea? No, let's go. Let's go see Karate Kid. You know, with Jaden Smith. You know, yeah, Will Smith. Awesome. I mean, I was playing this thing best I could. And so I took them to the movies. And so I got my wife sitting on the other side. I got my daughter sitting in between us, and we're just watching. And I know the Karate Kid from the old one, so I know it's getting ready to go down. And so this boy, he's going to a new school. A new school in China. It was a little bit different than the original. And all these little Chinese kids are just pushing him around, beating him up, mistreating him. It's terrible. I'm looking at my daughter, and she's like, whoa, you know. So I whispered to her, I said, Charis, you're getting ready to go to school soon. You don't want that to happen to you, do you? No. Just keep on watching, keep on watching. So you really don't want it, you know, that's how school is. You don't want that to happen, do you? No. I said, do you want to practice karate? Yes. That was it, man. My daughter was like, she's a green belt or a purple belt, whichever is the latest one, the more advanced one. That's what she is. She's gone through the white belt, the yellow senior, the green senior, the purple senior. She's gone through these belts. She's either a purple belt or a green belt. I don't know which one's the furthest along in a Japanese style of karate. And so I sent her to school then, kindergarten, practicing karate. And what I knew was, see, most people don't practice karate. Most people have no idea about karate. You don't even have to be good, and people will think you're good because they don't know anything about karate. So I sent my daughter in there with this myth. She practiced karate. So they had their first show and tell. I helped her put her show and tell together. So I had a little picture of her being presented her yellow belt by the black belt guy. You know, this white guy, black belt, was presenting my little daughter with her first belt. I had a picture of that. I also had a picture of her, you know, in this position. I had a picture of her with her leg up, you know, getting ready to do a kick. I had some really cool pictures, you know. And I also sent her with something, some kind of little trinket. I don't know what it was, but she along with those pictures. And that was her first show and tell. And guess what? She stayed there, kindergarten, first grade through the second grade. And she had no problems because she walked in there with this myth. She was a karate person. She practiced karate. She brought the girls, they would stay at our house. You know, all the girls, they'd stay at this family's house, and sometimes they'd stay at our house. It'd be like 8 screaming girls at our house. And we have this little gym downstairs, you know, with the mirrors in there, with a punching bag and gloves and headgear, you know, all this stuff. I had some workout equipment. And one day the kids were all down, and I just happened to come downstairs. My daughter had 2 of her friends with the headgear and the hand gear, and she was the ref. She was getting ready to have them fight. I said, hold up. She was having her own little octagon down there in the basement. I said, no, honey, we can't do this. Their parents are going to get mad.